today, and it's an artist, of course, we could never forget. From Iceland, I'm sorry. From Iceland, give it up for Greta Salóme.
We step into the cold, cold night. Then we're running now. I hear them calling me, I hear them whispering. They're singing now, we're coming home. I hear them calling me, I hear them howling. Singing now, we're coming
Good to the next rehearsal, isn't it? You can never have too many Eurovision rehearsals.
I think we rehearse for 2 hours a day, you know, so what's a few more minutes?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. It's a beautiful day here.
It is. How are you guys? Yeah?
Lots of support in the audience. Can you see all the Icelandic flags? So what have you been up to, apart from rehearsing?
Today?
Yeah.
I actually, I went to Skansen. We went to the Tivoli, and my legs are still shaking. I had a few life-threatening incidences, and I do not go to the fall tower, please. I'm still kind of recovering, but it was a fun day.
And your delegation let you go there?
Sorry?
Your delegation let you go there. You're the pride of Iceland.
Have you ever met me? I go where I want to go.
Now, you've been to Stockholm many times before. What's your favourite bit of the city? What place would you recommend to all our visitors?
Gamlestan, for sure. I'm sure everyone's been there, but it's just so beautiful. You have cobblestone roads, and it's just, you know, the narrow alleys and the cafes is just absolutely beautiful.
Now, you were last in the contest in 2012 in Baku. What are the two experiences like? If you compare Stockholm to Baku, what's it like?
I think there's a 14-hour flight difference for us. So I mean, of course, that's a big difference. But I think for me, 4 years is a long time, and for me, so much has happened for me in the past 4 years. So I think coming back to the competition with a song that I not only believe in the music, but I believe in the message more than anything. And for me, that's the biggest difference, I think. And of course, you know, doing probably like 5,000 gigs in 4 years, of course, it makes you grow as an artist.
Tell me about the song. Where did you get the idea for it from?
Usually I just sit down at my keyboard and I brainstorm, and usually I come up with like musical rhythms or musical theme, and I just kind of lose myself in the process of creating the music until I find something that I'm happy with. And for me, in Hear Them Calling, it was a da-da-dum, with the Celeste in the beginning, and when I heard that, I was just like, yeah, I can work with this. And then I kind of took it from there, and then I wrote the lyrics, and I knew that I wanted to write lyrics about something that was close to my heart, and I wanted to write lyrics about something that people could relate to, and I think above all else, I wanted to write a song that would hopefully help people.
What is the message in the song for you?
For me, it can be so many things, but for me personally, I think I can honestly say that, you know, we hear so many negative voices, and I know every single person in this room can relate to that. We see it in the media, we see it on Facebook, on Twitter, and being a Eurovision contestant, we see it. You might not know, but we see it. So even, you know, when they tag you in something and then they go, oh, this song is crap, we see it. And it's also, you know, just negative voices in general. And I think, you know, disregarding those voices, it can be so tough. But when you get to the place where you can, everything just becomes clear. And when you really focus on listening to the positive voices, and I think another thing that's really important, be a positive voice to one another. That's what the song is really about to me, and I think it's a relevant message today. I think it's a necessary message. If anyone has read the Icelandic news about our unfortunate situation with our prime minister and a few other people, it's just there's so much negativity out there, and I think we could use some positivity. Yeah.
And is it difficult as an artist where you are expected to have a social media presence? That's where a lot of people spread their music. It's a double-edged sword.
It is a double-edged sword, but like I said, when you get to that point where you believe in your product, you believe in yourself, when you can disregard those voices and you can just push forward. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about your product. It doesn't necessarily have to be about your song. It can be, my ass got blasted all over the media yesterday. I know you know. And, that's okay. It's there. So it's about taking those negative things, and turning them into something positive. So I went and did squats this morning.
Before Gröna Lund.
Sorry?
Before going to Gröna Lund.
Yeah, before embarking on that dangerous journey.
And did you write the lyrics in English first or Icelandic first? Which language do you write in?
I wrote the song in English. I've been with Disney for a while now, so when I got back home to Iceland, writing in Icelandic was kind of tough to begin with, and so I wrote the song in English, and then when I put it into the Icelandic pre-selections, we have rules stating that we can't perform in English in the first semi-final. But then, if you get to the final, you will have to perform in the language that you're going to perform in the Eurovision Song Contest. So I had to translate it into Icelandic for that one time. So the Icelandic version is the translation, and I know in Eurovision, people they want to hear the original language, and for me it's a big thing, of course, and I'm proud of my language, but I'm proud of the message too, and the graphics play a huge part in getting the message out there. So I wanted to go back to the original because I felt like that captured the message even better than the Icelandic translation did. So I kind of wanted to have the compact package for the message.
Going from the song to the performance, how are you feeling the rehearsals are going?
They've been challenging. We have a complicated act, as probably many of you know. And for me, I always have the same cues. I've done the same stuff since February. So lining up everything with my cues has been a bit challenging, of course. But once we had that, I think it took about 3 or 4 runs in the first rehearsal to figure out where the center mark was for the screen and for the camera angles. So I just kept on doing, my thing, and they kind of, adjusted with every run until we got the center right. But we were going to go with a different technology. We were going to go with the holocaust. And then only a few days before we got here, we decided not to do that. So we went back to the screen and to the back projection. So we kind of went back to our original idea. We kind of went back to the essence of the act, and I'm really happy we did. But at the first rehearsal, we only had half of the graphics. So we didn't have the 4 graphics. So all of that, smoke and stuff that was going on, that's not going to be there. So you'll see the actual version tomorrow at the rehearsal.
I mean, there are a lot of technologically advanced numbers in this year's Eurovision. How difficult is it, to not only nail the vocals, to nail the cameras and all the effects?
I think I will have to say that it's not easy, of course. But I am so grateful that I studied the violin and that I'm a violinist, because coordination is something that I've been practicing for 20-something years now. So I feel like that's probably not one of my difficulties. But of course, when you get on stage and you have so much stuff to think about, and for me, at the first rehearsal, I was more worried about if they were gonna find me at the stage and figure out how to light me, because I'm doing the same stuff the whole time. So I think it's in my muscle memory now. We've been doing this for what, 3 or 4 months now. I have my team here nodding in approval. So yeah, so it's just, you know, it's in my muscle memory. I usually never sing this song without doing kind of at least gestures of the movement. So yeah, I actually don't think I know how to perform this song without the movements.
Yeah, we've seen the same from Måns Zelmerlöw last year. Whenever he does it, he has these sort of, the movements are there automatically.
Yeah, of course, because you want it to be, it only takes one time, you know, to do something different. You're like, I like that. And then you do it the next time. And then you might be on the big stage, you know.
Now, it's a big year in Iceland. 30 years since Gleðivankinn. How much pressure is there on you?
I don't think there's more pressure now than it has been, you know, for every contestant for these 30 years. We're a small nation, but we're an extremely proud nation. So every year we're going to win Eurovision, and every year we don't. But you know, I think for me, being a winner in this contest, it can mean so many things. It doesn't have to mean that, you know, you go home with a trophy. I got a message today from someone from Venezuela who told me, you know, I've had extreme depression for the last 2 weeks and even suicidal thoughts. And they told me, but I listened to your song and I'm thinking about the positive voices and it's helped me. That's a winner, for me at least. I don't need anything else. I don't need a trophy. That's my trophy.
Wonderful. Big applause. Now, we've got a microphone out there, so do any of you have any questions for Greta Salóme? Anything you'd like to ask her?
Yes, please. I'd rather talk to you guys for half an hour than to write individual autographs. I want to have that dialogue, so please, if you have any questions. No? No questions? Yeah?
Oh, here we go.
Do you have a favorite Icelandic entry of the past?
There was a song, I think it was 2012, Never Forget.
Be careful, please.
I kind of like that one.
Yes.
Full stop. He's going, yeah, I can't remember that song. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Hi there. So, 2 contests for you now. What's the differences between the 2 so far?
I think there's a huge difference. I mean, different countries, it's a different song, of course. And I'm competing as a soloist now and not as a part of a duo. And in 2012, you know, I kind of, back home in Iceland, I was a musician and I was a concert violinist and I was singing and I was, you know, releasing my singles, but it was a big year for me and everything happened really, really fast. So it was kind of, I felt like I was pushed into the deep waters. It was kind of like being pushed out of the nest. So it was kind of a crash course for me, 2012. I had to learn so much in 1 year. So I think for me, coming back with the experience that I've had, especially with touring, with, you know, releasing my albums, my singles, being a headliner for Disney, you know, and just, you know, redefining myself as an artist and as a woman actually too, you know, as a feminist, as an individual. I think so many things have happened in my life for the past 4 years. So I think I don't necessarily come back as a stronger performer, but I come back as a stronger individual. Thank you.
Another question here.
Hello.
Hi.
Are you willing to sing for us a little bit from Raddirnar in Icelandic? Let us hear.
How does it go again? I made a point not to sing that song in Icelandic for the past months so that I wouldn't get confused. You really put me on a spot here. Can you guys help? Sorry? Or something else in Icelandic. I think I would have to go with Raddirnar. But I did pull a stunt yesterday. I had a meeting with some journalists and they asked me to sing a part of my song. hear them calling, and I sang this. Never forget what I did, what I said. And they just sat there going. Then I said, you don't know my song, get out. But fortunately, we all laughed, and then I sang them, hear them calling. But I think I can remember at least the chorus, or maybe the verse. I think I will have to start with the verse. Úti dansa skuggar og þeir skríða á eftir mér. Læðast inn í huga minn og leika sér. Og yfir svarta sandana við stígum hægt. Svo ég heyri þegar kallað ég heyri raddirnar, þær eru alltaf þar. Og leiðir okkur okkur heim. You might finish, but then again, you don't know what I was saying, so it might have been anything. But yeah, do you have any more questions? I've had what? Yes?
Hello.
Hi.
If the rules of Eurovision changed back to you being allowed to use live instruments, would you consider an entry in the future, of course, with your violin playing?
I would have to say, if they decide to do that, I will for sure come back to this competition. So, if you know all these people that make these decisions, just put in a good word, and I'll be back. But that sounded like Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. But yeah, one common question that I get, they say, yeah, so what's the message of your song? And the next question is usually, what's your height? 155, just if you're wondering. Do you have any more questions?
Oh, one more there. At the front, there we are.
Hi Greta, Jason from Don't Boil the Sauce. I combine food and Eurovision. So if next year we're spending 2 weeks in Iceland, what sort of food will we be eating? How can you tempt us with votes with food? As well as a brilliant song.
I can tell you how you would survive. We have this big store in Iceland called IKEA. They sell amazing meatballs. You could just go there, you'll be fine. But, on a more serious note, we have some strange food in Iceland, but we have amazing food. Everything is fresh. So you would have amazing lamb, you could have fish that's, the freshest fish you could ever have. But then you can also go the traditional Icelandic style. You could have fermented shark. I can see some funny faces going on. You could have fermented sheep balls. Oh, yeah, you're like, yeah, I could try that. This is the right crowd, I can feel. But, but I can see my publicist going. We're gonna have a serious meeting after this. But no, so I'm so sorry. But yeah, we have great food. Just go to IKEA.
Do we have any more questions out there? Not about sheep balls.
Yeah, it is. Hi, I'm just about talking about food. I'm French, and this summer I'm going to your country to visit it during 2 weeks. So when you are getting that, my question is, do you think a French guy who is so special with food will survive in your country? Yes, huh? I hope.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, I just want to ask you, because everyone make a problematic about the food, and I booked this summer to go to visit your country, and I didn't make any. I'm not afraid about the food, but now hearing that, you think I will survive, or I have to take food with?
Yeah, pack a big lunch. No, please don't do that, because you would be missing out, to be honest. We have amazing food. And, you know, I'm actually the kind of person, I will try anything. I'm not afraid to try different cuisines and different, you know, different types of food. And I don't think there's a food out there that I wouldn't like, to be honest. I would say, you know, just take a chance, not maybe on the sheepos, but, you know, on anything else. Because, like I said, the food is fresh. We have actually very modern cuisine. We have amazing restaurants. So don't be afraid. Don't panic. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
But there are a few things that I would say definitely you have to have. You have to have our ice cream. You have to have our hot dogs. And you have to have my mom's lamb.
I prefer the lamb and the ice cream, but hot dog.
Yeah, so you're invited to dinner to my parents' house. I just have to let them know.
Take you on the word.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, and I wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you so much, Maxi.
Any more questions? Oh, one more at the back there.
Hello, probably the only Asian here. I'm from Singapore.
Wow, you came from afar.
Yeah, but I was working in.
I think we should give it up for you. Coming from Singapore.
Thank you. I just want to ask, what inspired you to write a song? And mainly the songs you write, very positive songs or sentimental songs, or?
That's a good question. I am a very sentimental person, to be honest. I'm easily swept away by emotion and by, you know, I get inspired by so many things. I get inspired by people. I get inspired by nature. You know, I see a dog and I cry. I went to the Tivoli today and I thought I would die, to be honest. And I came back and I actually told my producer, we need to finish the second single because I don't know how much time I have left. That's how sentimental I am. So, you know, I'm not afraid to open up when it comes to writing songs and to hear them calling. You know, it's basically me saying, you know what? I've had some bad press, I've heard some negative things, but I have heard a lot of positive things, and so much more positive than negative, and those outweigh the other ones. You know, it's about being honest, it's about being, you know, it's about being honest and true to yourself. And there are so many songs that, you know, that I write that are, you know, directly about something that I've experienced or something that something that has influenced me. For example, a song I wrote called 1,000 More Goodbyes. It's actually my favorite song from my album. And it's really about, you know, when everything else has faded, everything, you know, what's gonna stand? It's gonna be the person you love and it's gonna be your conviction. So, you know, I'm not afraid to write about stuff that, you know, it's very close to me. And I think I would say definitely people and nature. Those are my two main inspirations when it comes to writing music. And of course, I mean, I've spent a year and a half now with Disney. I've been in Pixie Dust Land for a long time, and that's been very inspiring to see, you know, really high quality production shows, to see, you know, work ethic, you know, at a caliber that you really don't get to experience anywhere else. Ambition and just, you know, that's been very inspiring to me too. So I think, you know, I've come back a lot stronger from that actually.
Great, I think that's about all the time we have for now. So thank you so much, Greta Salóme, all from Iceland, as I think you say.
Thank you so much.